Hey y'all, so I wanted to come on here and kind of like talk about something while I wash my dishes. Being a surrogate is not for everybody, and some people don't understand what a surrogate is, and that's okay. Each to their own. I myself am a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in God. I believe, that Jesus Christ died for our sins. I also believe that God knew what my life would look like before I was even an atom that existed. And for Christians, I think surrogacy is a little different. I'm not going to get into that too much, but if you're questioning my statement, definitely do some research. I am a firm believer in God has a plan for everybody, and the things that I'm doing in my life right now would not be possible without Jesus Christ himself. With that being said, I believe that God has called me to carry children for other women that cannot. As most of y'all know, I am a second-time gestational carrier. I have 4 kids of my own. My youngest is 4. My oldest is almost 10. 2 boys, 2 girls. I was a mom at 17. Okay. Obviously, when I was that young, life seemed impossible. I had a very close to perfect childhood. I mean, my parents were great. The school I went to was great. I mean, I really had a wonderful life. Somewhere along the way, I fell off the deep end for about a period of 4 years. I was just obstinate, angry, defiant, depressed. I made a lot of poor choices that I won't get into, but a lot of poor choices that temporarily costed me some time with my children. That's way in the past now, but the point I'm trying to make is that when I was 20 years old, going through this weird internal struggle of I didn't know who I was having relations with people I shouldn't have been, and women, and just I really went through a crazy time in life. And had you told me 6-7 years ago I would have been a happy, healthy, clean, sober, clear-minded Christian woman who is able and willing to carry children for complete strangers, I would have literally laughed in your face. Y'all have no idea. And a lot of people will say oh, you just do it for the money. Is the money an incentive? Of course. I mean, I'd be a fool to lie to you and tell you that it's not. However, being a surrogate is so much more than being paid. It's the relationship that is formed with the intended parents. It's so hard on your body. It's so much more, guys, than money. And for those that have it set in their head that surrogates only do it for the money, that's how they're going to think, and that's fine. But I just wanted to touch on that real quick. I love being a mom. Being a mom is probably the greatest thing in the entire world. I was blessed with an easy fertility. I never had issues getting pregnant or holding a pregnancy. I've been blessed, and that, I believe, is a blessing that God gave me, because God knew that when I grew up, I would be a great mom, and he also knew that my body would help carry children for those that could not do it themselves. Of course, being a mom is the greatest blessing in the world, and I think God is using me as a vessel to help other moms have the opportunity to feel the love that a mother, a woman would never feel otherwise. Another thing that's been heavy on my mind lately is, you know, well, if this was God's plan, why did God enable, you know, you to carry for someone who was running such a horrible, ugly scheme? Like, how could God possibly have had that plan for that baby? Like, there's so much that, like, plays into this, and a 10-minute video is not long enough. I only have like 4.5 more minutes before this video shuts off. But as horrible as it is to say, like, that is God's plan for baby Hayes. What she has gone through, what she will continue to go through, and the person and the child that she will become from all of this, I believe, is greater than anything we can imagine right now. I mean, Hayes could be the world's next greatest surgeon. I mean, she could, you know, be something amazing. She could, you know, grow up and just blow our minds. I mean, we have no idea, but unfortunately, a lot of what God does to us and puts us through does not make sense, unfortunately, until we're to a point in our life where we understand. Like, I fully understand now why God had to keep me roasting in the fire for a little longer than I maybe wanted to. There was a lot of things I had to change about myself, not just like physically, but like mentally, and there was a lot of things that I had to like cut off and be okay with and come to terms with in order to move forward in my life and really see like Christianity for what it is. I always clung on to that, well, if God existed, this wouldn't happen, and if God existed, that wouldn't happen. And it took me to just totally like leave that mentality behind and just dive into like, well, maybe this is God's plan, and then try to figure out why. That is when I became enlightened. When I let those old mentality, those nasty thoughts, I quit letting them take over. And you know, so going back to like surrogacy and everything, while some people might not agree with it, that's perfectly okay. I'm not going to sit here and like badger people into like understanding why surrogacy is what it is to me, because realistically, like, there's a billion trillion people in this world. Like, we're not all gonna get people to agree on the same things that, you know, we do, and that just is what it is. But I will tell you, surrogacy speaks to me in ways that like I can't even describe to other people. Like, it's just such a beautiful, raw, like, y'all have no idea, like, the feeling of just carrying and then birthing a baby, watching, like, the other parent just take over, and, like, it's like something, like, ticks in your head. I mean, I can't explain it. It's just, it's so beautiful. And, like, you know, obviously there's a dark side to everything. People can create something ugly out of anything. And, like, there are the people that are like, oh, you know, well, this intended parent does this, or like in my scenario with my crazy intended parents that weren't really who they said they were. You always have those scenarios, but I did not let that discourage me from attempting again to have a beautiful journey. And I can tell y'all already, without disclosing too much, you know, my intended parents are amazing. I haven't really like talked to the dad too much. He works, of course, and surrogacy and pregnancy is more of like a woman thing to talk about, but womanly thing, I should say. But this journey is gonna be great, guys. Like, great, probably close to perfect. You know, fingers are crossed that the transfer will go great. I believe that whatever happens is obviously God's plan. Just like it was for me to get pregnant so easily with my 4 children, just like it was for the first transfer to stick with baby Hayes, and just like this next journey will go. And like I said, guys, you know, maybe not everyone agrees on surrogacy, but like, everybody's life, whether you believe in God or not, there's a plan for your life. And this was God's plan for me, and I'm embracing it, and I'm sharing it, you know, 100% being transparent, because that's just what I believe in. So follow for more